People along the East Coast making last-minute preparations as Hurricane Florence approaches. We're tracking that storm for you, and we'll show you when it's supposed to make landfall. Plus, people who rent out Airbnbs in Sarasota County may be in trouble. Tonight, a group of people voicing their concerns. And Sarasota County Sheriff's Office has a new drone. We'll show you how they plan to use it to save lives. Your Suncoast News starts now.
You're watching ABC7 News at 11.
Good evening. Our top story tonight, Hurricane Florence and its path towards the East Coast. You're looking live at Myrtle Beach, South Carolina right now. As you can see, the tide there is picking up and waves are crashing on the shoreline. Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan joins us now. And Bob, exactly how much time do people have left to prepare there, and some new details I know you have for us tonight as well?
Yeah, some good news coming in from the National Hurricane Center tonight, Jacqueline. As far as preparing, most of the people should be prepared and ready to go if they are going to ride this storm out in the Carolinas now. And it looks as though the good news is that it's weakened down to a Category 2 hurricane, a strong one at that, and it's going to have a little time to get organized back to a very strong hurricane. But the point is, this already has a lot of water, a tremendous amount of water gathered around its center and to the right. On top of that, it has expanded in its wind field as expected. Now, what we're looking at is the satellite imagery, and in the southwest corner, it's been ripped apart by some shear and reconnaissance aircraft indicating that half of the eye wall has been taken apart or eroded by that strong southwesterly shear that's occurring with the system. That's supposed to relax somewhat throughout the day tomorrow, so it does have a chance to rebound a little bit. It could get back to a Category 3 status as it is over some very warm water right now, and we have seen an explosion of storms, but the eye is not nearly as uniform as it once was, and it looks like there's a concentric eye wall starting to form outside. There's one in the interior, which is about 20 miles in diameter, and then there's another one developing, an eye wall, if you will, starting to develop about 50 miles in diameter around its center, and the wind field, as I mentioned, expanding well to the east. Here's the latest now. Good news is that it's not going to be a major hurricane, it looks like, at impact in the southern portion of North Carolina. Top winds now down to 110, making it a strong Category 2 hurricane. And the forecast path and track is a little bit faster now. Looks like it's going to make landfall sometime around late Thursday night, Friday morning as a Category 2, and then get downgraded to a 1 as it moves over land. And then it will move off to the southwest into South Carolina. So notice that that cone of uncertainty has really shifted down south a little bit more so, and the winds will be weakening as well as it makes its way off into Georgia. Get a look at this wind field. This is, again, a projection of the tropical storm force winds. So power outages expected to be enormous throughout North Carolina and South Carolina as it makes its way off towards South Carolina. Again, rainfall will be a big issue. So basically storm surge, rain, and now the wind's not as much as a player, but still Category 2 is a strong storm. We'll have more on that, Isaac, and boy, we had some big storms here earlier. We'll talk about those as well coming up in just a few minutes. Jacqueline? All
right, thank you. As Bob mentioned, Hurricane Florence closing in on the mid-Atlantic and being described as a monster of a storm. That Category 2 storm making its way toward the Carolina coast. Mandatory evacuation orders are now in place. ABC's Marcy Gonzalez is in Wilmington, North Carolina, with how residents are getting ready and the impacts now starting to be felt.
Packing up and preparing. A last-minute effort ahead of this massive, slow-moving, and potentially devastating storm.
This is not going to be a glancing blow. This is going to be, you know, a Mike Tyson punch to the Carolina coast.
In the Carolinas, Virginia, and now Georgia, states of emergency declared, with forecasters expecting Hurricane Florence to bring powerful winds, up to 40 inches of rain, and storm surges up to 13 feet.
It's going to be one of the biggest to ever hit the East Coast, one of the biggest to ever hit our country.
The largest hospital in Myrtle Beach racing to evacuate patients, some taken as far as Florida. And authorities watching this nuclear power plant and 15 other reactors in 3 states concerned they could flood.
Leave as soon as possible. Emergency services may not be able to respond.
That warning taken seriously by many of the more than 1.5 million residents in evacuation zones. Time to leave now running out.
Hearing everything that I heard, it was a no-brainer. It was time to get out of town.
And we talked to some people who've decided to ride out the storm despite the dangers and the risk that millions of people could be left without power for weeks. Marcy Gonzalez, ABC News, Wilmington, North Carolina.
Well, we have new numbers tonight on the amount of first responders from here in Florida that are heading north in preparation of Florence. The governor's office confirming tonight that the Florida Department of Health is sending 30 nurses to help in special needs shelters. 5 ambulance strike teams are also going to help with medical evacuations. More than 2,000 utility crews have left as of today, and several volunteer teams from the Salvation Army, the American Red Cross, and Florida Baptist have already arrived to help the first responders once those storms pass. Well, airport officials at the Sarasota Bradenton International Airport say they are monitoring Florence and any effects that storm may have on flights. They're advising travelers that if you have a flight heading up the East Coast over the next couple of days, to check with your airline for changes. Airlines will typically send an email or text with changes to flight plans.
Our advice to passengers would be to check with their airline, especially starting tomorrow afternoon. You may start to see some impacts from the storm depending on how it moves. And then certainly Friday, by the looks of things, is when it'll have its biggest impact on the coast there. And
currently, SRQ has 3 flights going into Charlotte, 7 to Atlanta, and 1 into Washington, D.C. each day. In other news tonight, the man deputies say robbed a Venice bank is now dead. After a months-long search, U.S. Marshals caught up to 57-year-old Edward Reynolds in Kentucky. According to our sister station there, Reynolds shot a Scott County Sheriff's deputy who is now in the hospital with serious injuries. Since last night, that deputy has had to have 2 surgeries.
I told him I loved him and that we all loved him and that we'd be with him and he was going to get through this. And we're all going to pull together and get them through it.
Troopers say the injured deputy was assisting with the arrest of Reynolds, who was killed in the gunfire. In addition to the bank in Venice, Reynolds is also suspected of robbing several other banks in Charlotte and Lee counties. An update tonight on an accident that left roads blocked in Northport for several hours yesterday. A woman has now been arrested after causing a 5-vehicle crash at US 41 and Salford Boulevard. Before officers arrived, Kristen McKinney tried to drive off, but citizens in that area helped catch her. Investigators say she hit a truck with her car, which then crossed a concrete median and hit another car head-on. 2 other cars suffered damage in that crash and 2 people were injured and taken to the hospital. Witnesses say McKinney was speeding through the construction area and ran a red light. Police say the car she was driving had been reported stolen. After being released from the hospital, McKinney was arrested and now faces several charges. Well, there's a new tool keeping Sarasota County residents safe. Today, the Sheriff's Office launching its first drone. This drone is the first for any law enforcement agency in Sarasota County, and today deputies put that new tool to the test. In this staged operation, deputies were called to Nathan Benderson Park for a missing 12-year-old boy wearing a red shirt that disappeared during a crowded event. Instead of having deputies search on foot for the child, the department launched the Dragonfly Commander drone, and within minutes were able to spot the missing child.
It's certainly not going to be a substitute for our Air 1 vehicle or helicopter. What it will do is offer supplemental overwatch, if you will, during the inclement weather events.
Right now, 3 deputies are trained to operate that $40,000 piece of equipment. They are always on call, ready to assist if the situation is needed. Well, a group of residents speaking to Sarasota County commissioners earlier tonight with the hopes that the county can change their stance on short-term rentals, especially when it comes to Airbnbs. ABC7's Rick Adams joins us live from the County Administration Building in downtown Sarasota tonight with more on what some residents are saying. Rick?
Yeah, Jacqueline, good evening. Folks did get a chance to have their voices heard. They're hoping this changes very soon. Chad Waits is an Airbnb host who relies heavily on the income from his rental. He and so many others on Siesta Key are pushing for Sarasota County to change their law when it comes to short-term rentals.
The county wants to enforce 30-day rental minimums, and they're cracking down on anything less than 30 days, so it's really hurting our economy.
Waite says this is a law that's been in place in the county for more than 2 decades, but he tells us the county is now being aggressive in cracking down on anyone who rents out their home for less than 30 days. A group spoke to Sarasota County commissioners during public comments asking for the county to allow for Airbnb rentals to be weekly at the minimum and preferably daily.
It wouldn't be just do a free-for-all. It would be basically Let's make some regulations. Let's make some efforts to keep it under control, but still allow it so we still generate income for the businesses that are struggling right now, especially with red tide.
Sarasota County did receive nearly $1 million over the last year from the Airbnb tax, so it's not known how this crackdown on short-term rentals will affect that. Martha Kim is a Siesta Key homeowner who stopped renting out her home years ago. She says she's all for folks renting out their home daily or weekly, even though she and others have been constantly getting letters from a group opposing it.
There would be no Siesta Key, as I said, except for a bunch of rich people who had big houses. But I think also it's an invasion of people's property rights and their privacy.
And after hearing all the comments, Sarasota County Commissioners did not take any actions right at the moment. Reporting live from downtown Sarasota, I'm Rick Adams. Jacqueline, back to you.
All right, Rick, thank you. Stay with us. Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan will be back with your first alert forecast. Plus, Moat Marine releasing new data today about red tide and the number of animals affected. And 20,000 crates of bottled water just found in Puerto Rico untouched, nearly a year after Hurricane Maria.
I just need a second.
Is your weight holding you back and affecting your health?
Did you see this? Your cousin had a heart attack.
Really?
Excess weight or obesity can be serious, but you can do something about it. Visit yourweightmatters.org. Download the free toolkit to prepare you to speak with a healthcare provider. Your weight does matter. Accept the challenge and take charge today. Visit yourweightmatters.org.
Reorganizing a space in your home? Save up to 15% on our premium finishes during the California Closets Autumn Upgrade event. Contact us today for a free design consultation. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
Gettle's got what you're looking for at Gettle.com. 17 new car brands, over 1,000 used vehicles, prices and payments you can afford. Credit help if you need it, and they pay cash for your old car. Plus, Gettle Pre-Owned Certified Plus means buying with peace of mind. Need service? Gettle's got that too. Gettle's got it. Visit Gettle.com.
Excuse me a minute. Hi, Dad. No, don't try to get up.
Hi, I'm Julie, a right-at-home caregiver. And if I'd been caring for Tom's dad, I would have noticed some dizziness that could lead to balance issues. That's because I'm trained to report any changes in behavior, no matter how small. So Tom could have peace of mind.
We'll be right there. We have to go.
Hey, Tom, you should try Right at Home. They're great for us.
The right care, right at home.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Sarasota Oxygen and CPAP is the largest locally owned CPAP supply company in the area. Is it time to replace your old equipment? The staff at Sarasota Oxygen and CPAP can show you the most up-to-date CPAP equipment and supplies to meet your sleep apnea needs, including portable travel devices and the SoClean automatic CPAP sanitizer. We serve all of Southwest Florida, giving the highest quality of care with the finest CPAP equipment. Please visit our website, sarasotacpap.com.
Reorganizing a space in your home? Save up to 15% on our premium finishes during the California Closets Autumn Upgrade event. Contact us today for a free design consultation. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
Protesters in Inglewood are not giving up in their fight to fix the red tide problem plaguing the Suncoast. Today, the Inglewood Indivisible group lined the street at Dearborn and Indiana Avenue. According to the group's Facebook page, they'll be on that corner every second and fourth Wednesdays of the month and outside the Walmart store on the first and third Wednesdays protesting red tide. Now, this year's red tide has been especially hard on marine life here on the Suncoast. Since July, MOTE's Stranding Investigations Program has responded to 17 dead bottlenose dolphins, 181 stranded sea turtles, while also helping recover several dead manatees for Florida Fish and Wildlife. So far, samples from 10 of MOTE's recovered dolphins have been tested for Florida red tide neurotoxins, and all were positive for that. If you see a distressed sea life or sea animal, call MOTE's Stranding Investigations Program number. That's 988-0212. And Bob, I know we had the midweek report and not the best of news.
Yeah, we had some better news with Florence and pretty bad news with the red tide. Now let's go to the map and show you real quickly what the latest has come in. Midweek report showing that red is not a hurricane warning, but that is high concentrations of red tide being felt along the Suncoast. And just a week ago, there were no high reports. So you get the picture. It's back, and it's back in full effect. It's always been around, but it's really intensifying now. This is typically the time of year that it really starts to get going, too. Late summer, early fall, and we're starting to see an explosion of red tide, even offshore now, 10 miles offshore. Now, the east wind, you don't get the impacts as much, and it looks like we'll stay with an east wind tomorrow. The full report comes out on Friday. We'll keep you up to date. Boy, a tremendous amount of lightning. Did several Facebook Lives and also sent out some notifications on our First Alert weather app. This was shot from Rob Waterworth from our studio this evening, shortly after 8 o'clock, and continuous lightning. I mean, we're talking continuous lightning for over an hour across places, and a lot of cloud-to-cloud lightning that you're seeing there, but a lot of cloud-to-ground, too, knocking power out to folks in Manatee County, and it looks like most of that lightning is over, although we're still getting a few rumbles of thunder outside our studio. You can see some of that happening right now. Even though the storms aren't all that intense, there's still enough energy in the atmosphere to release a few bolts. So we had highs today into the mid-90s, just enough heat and energy. The sea breeze worked its way in. The East Coast breeze came all the way over. The two met into central portions of our viewing area and just fired up those storms, and heavy rainfall. There was a flood advisory at one point for parts of Manatee and Sarasota counties. You got to look at the green there. That's over 2.5 inches of rainfall in just a short period of time, and that caused some minor flooding problems. That flood advisory has since expired. We'll see more storms again tomorrow afternoon and evening, it looks like. Well, the good news on this, we talked about at the top of the news, it's gone down from a 3 just a few hours ago down to a 2 now. And it could be a 1 by the time it makes its way toward the coast. There's a chance for some re-intensification, but it does not look healthy at all. It's been sheared apart from some strong southwest winds, and that's the upper level jet that was kind of moving on by it, and that has really weakened the system considerably. The top wind's now at 110 miles an hour, making it a strong 2. But the point is that the storm surge doesn't relate to the number here. The storm surge is still carrying a Category 4 storm surge with it right now as it makes its way toward the Carolina coast. So that isn't gone away, and that's not going away. That water continues to pile up around the center and will be pushed right into the Carolina coast at a 90-degree angle. So that's a big factor still. Looks like it will make landfall sometime late Thursday night, more so Friday morning, as a Category 2 storm. I think winds right around where they are at now, and then it will be downgraded to a Category 1 or tropical storm by Friday midday, and then it continues to work toward Georgia, and there's still a chance it could be out here in day 3. There's still a lot of uncertainty. That's why the cone is so wide here. Typically on 3 days that cone is so narrow, but this one, it means that there's still a lot of uncertainty with it. But one thing is certain, that the wind field is expanded. From the center out, over 110 miles, tropical storm force winds are being felt, and that continues to get stronger and stronger each advisory. So power outages, a real big deal there. We're going to see millions of people without power. Severe power outages right there near the coast, near Wilmington, and stretching off to the east, even into Georgia. Now, as far as the rainfall goes, that hasn't changed much. There's still catastrophic rain possible with this system as we move through time and that storm surge. Now, one more storm real quickly. This is going to be moving off to the west. More than likely, it will open up to a wave. There's a chance it could redevelop here in the Caribbean and then start to bend toward the Gulf of Mexico. So we'll have to watch it. Midweek to late week next week. There are some models that take it kind of toward Florida at this point, but right now, nothing to worry about. We just have to watch it throughout the early part of next week. For boaters tomorrow, not much going on. Seas will be running generally 2 feet or less. And as far as the 7-day forecast, a good chance for afternoon storms tomorrow. Again, a 30% chance on Friday. The closer Florence gets to, say, Georgia, we could see our rain chances increasing somewhat if we get some of those feeder bands headed our way. Jacqueline?
All right, Bob, thank you. Well, many of us have been talking about Hurricane Florence. However, Tropical Storm Olivia has made landfall in Hawaii. Olivia first hit land in Maui, bringing with it flooding and 45-mile-per-hour winds as it moved over the state's main islands. The storm closing roads and causing thousands to lose power. Forecasters predicted Olivia could dump 5 to 10 inches of rain, with some places getting up to 15 inches. Hawaiian Airlines canceling flights by its commuter airline, Ohana by Hawaiian. It and most other U.S. airlines serving Hawaii waived fees for customers looking to change their itineraries. Some shocking video released today from Puerto Rico. What you're looking at is about 20,000 pallets of bottled water sitting on an airport runway, unused since Hurricane Maria hit last year. FEMA says they brought in that water among emergency supplies in the aftermath of Maria, which killed nearly 3,000 people on the island. It's unclear why that water was never distributed, but the head of Puerto Rico's General Services Administration says that water will likely be returned. Here on the Suncoast, renourishment on the north end of Longboat Key is making progress. 55 truckloads of fresh sand was delivered today and more is on the way. The last time this area of Longboat Key Beach was renourished was in 2016. Nearly 30,000 tons of sand is expected to be brought in to help with erosion in that area. An update now on DeSoto County's ongoing battle with the Mosaic Fertilizer Company regarding the company's push to mine phosphate. Today, county leaders in Mosaic are agreeing on one thing: to push back the date to form a special committee that will weigh in on DeSoto's denial of the company's bid. This third-party group is supposed to give an unbiased opinion to the idea of rezoning more than 14,000 acres of farmland for phosphate mining. They now have until December to choose the people who will be a part of this committee. Apple's new smartwatch includes some fancy upgrades. The Series 4 watch has a larger display and a faster processor. It also includes a built-in electrocardiogram or ECG feature that can send a readout of your heart function straight to your doctor. Apple says the watch is certified by the FDA. The president of the American Heart Association was at the Apple campus to unveil that new feature.
In my experience, people often report symptoms that are absent during their medical visits. That is why information is vital. Information about a person's daily lifestyle choices and their specific health data. The ability to access health data on an on-demand electrocardiogram or ECG is game-changing.
Prices for the new Apple Watch start at $399. At that same news conference, Apple also introduced 3 new iPhone Xs, including the new iPhone XS Max with a larger display surface. Well, Amazon wants to make sure you never have to leave your house, not even to pick up a Christmas tree. This holiday season, the company will sell and deliver full-size real Christmas trees right to your front door. It will sell a wide selection of real Christmas trees ranging from 2 to 7 feet tall. Some of those trees will be eligible for Prime shipping, meaning members of its yearly subscription program will get 2-day shipping. But first, here's what's coming up on Jimmy Kimmel.
Kimmel's new tonight.
I know, I'm excited too.
The incredible Christina Aguilera drops by.
Right here and now, hanging out.
Plus Paul Scheer.
Oh my God, what should I do?
And people are bugging out on Hollywood Boulevard.
Is it gone? Is it gone?
Emmy-nominated Kimmel, new tonight on ABC.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Need more space in your place? The More Space Place can help with Murphy beds that disappear to reveal a home office, living room, or den. Custom closets with designated areas for your shoes, bags, wardrobe, and accessories. Custom-built entertainment centers, garage storage systems, and more. The More Space Place has 3 showrooms next to Sonny's on US 41 South in Sarasota, on Lakewood Ranch Boulevard just south of State Route 64 in Bradenton, and on Tamiami Trail next to Panera Bread in Port Charlotte. Put more space in your place at the More Space Place.
Did you know you could get life insurance for less than 32 cents a day?
With guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance through TrueStage, you can get up to $25,000 in protection with a single phone call. TrueStage can help free your family from immediate financial stress when you're gone.
Utility bills, mortgages, car payments, those are a lot of things that can add up pretty fast.
And even if you're on a fixed income, prices fit your budget, starting at less than 32 cents a day. Plus, your price will never increase and your benefit will never decrease. And with no medical tests or health questions, you cannot be turned down for any reason. Call 1-800-842-7189 now for a free, no-obligation quote. TrueStage offers plans to fit your budget. Help protect your family from immediate financial burdens after you're gone with guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance through TrueStage. Call 1-800-842-7189 now.
So you've decided to go to college. That's cool. So pop quiz. Which is a better way to earn your degree? Commute to college and fill your gas tank, get stuck in traffic, drive in bad weather, try to find a parking space, walk a half mile to class, or learn online at Independence University. In the park on a bench, on the beach on a towel, or on your couch with your kid, your campus is wherever you want it to be. You don't go to college. College goes to you. That's independence. That's Independence University. You schedule classes around your schedule, and all your supplies, including a brand new laptop and tablet, are included with tuition. At Independence U, you'll learn from professional instructors with real work experience. You'll get personal support in school and employment assistance when you graduate. Get your degree, but keep your life. That's independence. That's Independence University. So if you're really smart, you'd call now.
Call 1-800-965-2704.
Independence U for an independent you.
Call 1-800-965-2704.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Now, sports.
The Tampa Bay Rays taking on the Cleveland Indians again today. Pitcher Blake Snell took a no-hitter into the 7th inning, leading the Tampa Bay Rays over the Cleveland Indians 3-1. Snell lost his no-hit bid when Jose Ramirez led off the 7th with his 38th homer. Snell won his team record 7th straight start, striking out 9 and walking 2 in 7 innings. He has allowed 2 earned runs or fewer in 16 consecutive home starts. Well, the Baltimore Orioles are going to be hosting its annual Fall Instructional League here in Sarasota with some free games that are open to the public. The Instructional League focuses on specific individual development while providing additional playing time for some of those minor leaguers. There will be 7 games in total at Ed Smith Stadium from the end of this month to the beginning of next month, and again, those are free. Well, Tampa Bay's Vernon Hargraves is on injury reserve as of today. The former Gator suffering from a torn labrum, according to ESPN. He was hurt while diving to break up a pass intended for running back Alvin Kamara on Sunday in a game against the New Orleans Saints. Hargraves finished that game with 7 combined tackles, a pass breakup, and a forced fumble. Nick Foles made the right choice when he picked the Eagles over the Buccaneers last season. We saw Foles help win the Super Bowl, now has a Super Bowl MVP award to show for that tough decision. Now he'll get a chance to play against Tampa Bay on Sunday because Carson Wentz still is not ready to return from knee surgery. Let's look at sports tonight. We'll have your winning lotto numbers when we come back.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Sarasota Oxygen and CPAP is the largest locally owned CPAP supply company in the area. Is it time to replace your old equipment? The staff at Sarasota Oxygen and CPAP can show you the most up-to-date CPAP equipment and supplies to meet your sleep apnea needs, including portable travel devices and the SoClean automatic CPAP sanitizer. We serve all of Southwest Florida, giving the highest quality of care with the finest CPAP equipment. Please visit our website, sarasotacpap.com.
I was always worried and scared. Mom was in pain. She wasn't going to get any better, and all the trips to the ER were painful for all of us. Then we called Tidewell Hospice, and everything changed. Now she has care in our home when she needs it, surrounded by family. We know we don't have much time left with Mom, but we decided to make the best out of that time. Tidewell Hospice, it's more than you think.
Florida's coral reefs are declining. Bad news for our oceans and marine life. Fortunately, you can help, and you don't have to dive, you just have to drive. When you purchase Moat's Protect Our Reefs license plate, $25 goes directly to Moat Marine Laboratory, whose research, restoration, and conservation programs are helping this precious natural resource thrive once again. So get your Moat Protect Our Reefs license plate today. You just might hold the key to saving Florida's reefs.
The Florida Lottery winning numbers are sponsored by Frontier Fios.
Well, space travel is on the horizon, and in the meantime, companies are testing out ways to celebrate. Champagne House Mum is working to create champagne fit for zero gravity. The fizz comes out of a bottle as a foam that can be either caught in a glass or drunk straight out of the air. This puts a whole new meaning on a wine flight, quite literally. One way to celebrate in space, I suppose.
Absolutely. They've been getting some interesting space shots of Florence, too. Just got a report from the reconnaissance aircraft indicating that it may even be going down even more so. It looks like the winds now have maybe dropped down to about 105, 107 miles an hour. So we'll see. Right now they're at 110, making it a strong Category 2 storm. Meteorologist John Scalzi will have much more coming up tomorrow morning at 5.
All right, we'll continue to hope for the best. Thank you, Bob. And thanks for joining us tonight. We'll see you right back here tomorrow. Have a good one.